This episode had me all over the place. Uh, I, let's talk about it. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. Like I said, this episode of Love and Hip Hop, this was actually season 5, episode 10, had me all over the place. Let me just start off by saying this. I'm gonna start off right here. I'm not getting ready to dedicate a whole bunch of time to the King family. I ain't gonna do it. I'm done with the King family. Okay. Other than crazy ass motherfucking Tommy and Tierra and all their bullshit. Now that shit we could talk about, but just the whole scrap and the baby and the going to jail situation and all that. I don't have no more time for that. I don't. It's too much. I don't even know what it is that we're actually. He's going to jail. And the storyline. That's it. What else is left? What more is there to talk about? And then this whole situation of like, we're building this whole thing like we want to be feeling sorry for Scrap. No, we don't. No, we don't. I mean, it's cool. Love him dearly. It's sad that he's going to be separated from the boy and all of that. But you knew these things. When you were out, when you was balling, it was cool. When the money was rolling and you was doing whatever it is that you were doing, it was cool. We wasn't feeling sorry for you then. So we don't need to do week to week to week to week to week feeling sorry for Scrap like he's just being railroaded like he ain't did nothing. So it is what it is. I'm not going to waste my review sitting up playing the Scrap game. Not going to do it. Now, when he go back to fucking with Tommy and that bitch leaping across couches and shit like that, we'll talk about it because that's good shit right there. That's funny. But just, I don't have that to do. I will say this. There were some outtakes that they did with a photo shoot that he did with Little King. Those things were absolutely adorable. Those were cute for Love and Hip Hop. Love that baby. Love that, seeing that. That was cute. I was cool with that. But all that crying and all this babble reading and child, no sir. He is not going off on to be a missionary. He is going to jail. Done. And Karen, I can't take another moment of Karen, KK, reading cue cards. She don't read good. And this is we didn't see much of Sass. We didn't see much of Sass at all. Now we do see him. Child, that child ain't nothing but teeth and hair. Teeth and hair is all I saw. He looked like his brother, but just teeth and hair, child. Enough with King family. Moving the fuck on. Okay, so let's talk about, like I said, it's all over the place. Arian, D. Smith, Betty Idle. Okay, I might as well go ahead and gather Arian first. Y'all know I just live for Arian. I think she is absolutely beautiful. I just think she's cute and I like looking at her and I like Arian. I think she's groovy. Bitch be sharp. But you're giving me I'm going on to the winning team type tease. You met up with these two clowns because you think that D. Smith can actually grab you on and produce you some music. But in the meantime, in between time, what you really were doing, Arian, and I didn't like it, bitch. You down talked K. Michelle because previous season you had actually auditioned to be backup singing for K, and nothing came about. the reason why things didn't come about, she spared your feelings. What's coming out, what was needed. What's coming out may not even be marketable, actually. Okay? So that's the whole thing. She was a friend of you, bitch. She didn't rip you on TV, but you didn't have what was needed because the bitch definitely went on tour. She definitely went on tour. She definitely sold a whole bunch of motherfucking albums, bitch. And you didn't go. So she spared your feelings. She didn't drag you on television like we know Kate do. She didn't drag you. She was cool about it. But nothing happened because you didn't have nothing to give. Now you are over there with D. Smith, who I just can't get with at all because, again, bad representation of what transgender or what drag should be. Running around, you're a motherfucking mop head. Her head, just that, her look, I just don't understand. You became a woman, why? Because I don't understand the purpose of becoming a woman to be a mop head. Why are you looking like this? And everybody's screaming about how fashionable you. Every hairdo you've had on this show, your head, every time we see you, bitch, is worse than the last time we seen you. The fuck is that motherfucking Beyonce flop drop look you got going on? That shit is horrible. Just all over the place. It's pulled up in some type of ponytail. Ponytails are supposed to be slick down there, bitch, and I know you know better. The fact of the matter is you are trans, bitch. You're being held to a higher standard, bitch, and you ain't meeting it. You ain't meeting it. Yes, you have some looks, but bitch, you not putting your shit together. You ain't together. Bitch, you be looking crazy. Nappy head motherfucker. But anyway, so I don't know what all that's about, but you getting over there with them. They talking shit on K, and it's becoming a pattern where you're always somewhere and people are always talking about your friends. And everybody's so comfortable to talk about your friends. It's not a good look for you, Aryan bitch, and you need to stop. Go on and do whatever you're going to do, but you didn't need to go in there and ask them a motherfucking thing about what them two whores thought about K. Michelle. You already knew what they thought about K. Michelle. And the fact of the matter is, does it matter what they think about K. Michelle? Because who's on the radio? I rest my case. Moving the fuck on. Watch it, Aryan bitch. Cut it out. Now, I like you, whore, but cut it out. You're doing too much. It's not cute. You try to build a storyline, get you a storyline. Don't drag nobody to get it. And I don't think you want K on, you don't want to be on the wrong side of K on and trying to get no storyline. You better smack your ass with some goddamn roses like she did me. Anyway, moving on. So then we got Deb, Tammy, and Bambi. Now let me say this. Bambi, baby, you ain't did nothing wrong. You understand me? Not anything at all. And don't you even sit around there feeling as though you got to feel no kind of way about nothing that you said to D. Smith. Baby, y'all were at war. Bitch, anything you have to say is okay. It don't matter. You talk about a lump in that bitch's throat, a lump in her motherfucking skirt, and wherever else you find a lump. Whatever it is that you need to take that bitch down and get up off your back, bitch, you use it. And it's all fair game. So, Bam, that bothered me when Bambi was saying, I feel like I went too hard on D. Smith. No, you didn't go hard enough because she fucking let you have it. And I could tell that Bambi was kind of holding back the things that she could. Bitch, say whatever you need to say. Once it becomes an argument and a fight, you say whatever the fuck you need to say. You ain't got to be, cuss her transgender ass right the fuck on out. So, I didn't like that. So, I don't think, nobody should feel like that. Yes, the trans community needs to be respected and not bullied. But at the same time, no, they can't be bullying people. And no, you can't be calling them bitches and whores and fish and all that bullshit and think that they're not going to call you names too, bitch. So, for future reference, Bam, say whatever you need to say to get that bitch up off your back. Anyway, then I'm looking at Deb. Now, Miss Deb, girl, you know we love you, but girl, you gave me X-Man tease, honey, in this episode. You really did. When you were sitting up there for this little scene and your little scene that you had later on with D. Smith, and I'm gonna go into that in a second. Girl, this platinum blonde, spiral curls, business or rod set, that's an absolute no-no. You were given a Horror Monroe, honey, and that just is not, that ain't a good look. Then later on, when Deb had her event and she did the long motherfucking white hair with the black root, girl, if you wasn't giving us Grandma Storm, honey, I said, girl, I want you to stop, honey. You look like you get ready to cause a typhoon, honey. Stop it. That hair is just wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. And in the confessionals, eyebrows too motherfucking dark. Eyebrows is put on like with charcoal briquettes, and then this blonde hair. No, Miss Deb, no. No. Stop it. Stop it. Anyway, so they're sitting around, they're talking about trying to clear the air between Tammy and Bambi and D. Smith, and possibly having D. Smith and Betty Idol be on the panel for this event that she's doing. She's doing a panel discussion for her no cyberbullying um, organization that she founded because of her son. And Tammy's real adamant about it. I think Tammy's really still in her feelings about the situation, and she did get attacked. You know, it was kind of, that's the stuff that really started the ball rolling of me not really doing Betty Idol and D. Smith. And Tammy's still in her feelings a little bit about it. And that's fair. That's why I said this episode had me all over the place. Because they both wrong on some ends. So that's fair. But Deb told her, enough. It is what it is. You were mad. Fuck it. We're done with that. And we're moving on. So I was there for that. I was like, okay, cool. So um what I found though, while we went through this situation, Miss Deb's organization just should not touch on the trans topic, period, because they're conflicted. So they just shouldn't touch on that. You can do no cyberbullying, just don't include don't include it as a piece of your topic, the trans situation and the LGBTQ, because directly, as soon as somebody says something about Waka, you're all up in your feelings, Miss Deb, and you out of order. You're out of order. You get up in your feelings, but baby, at the same time, your son is saying things that are just out of order. You know, and yes, Tammy's right when Tammy says that Walker's allowed to have his opinion. He is. But when people put their opinion back out there, Deb and Tammy, y'all can't start arguing with people and feeling that they wrong for saying something. He said it. He's what we know. Don't nobody know you, Tammy. Anybody know you before Walker and Deb? Did anybody know you? So you kind of do come along with him. And when somebody says something about something he said, you can't really get mad. Now, at the same time, is it fair for somebody to just automatically feel like you should be attacked because they can't get to Walker? Because you're standing here and he ain't here. So is it fair for someone to attack you about things that he said? No, that's not right either. But as soon as somebody even mentioned it, you got up in your feelings. And he can say what he wants. He can feel how he wants. You're right. And at that point, when you do that, they could cuss your motherfucking ass out. So that's what I'm saying. It's just all over the place. And I just think that Deb's organization just shouldn't touch it. And all while we're at it, again, with that event that Deb had, Mama D need to get her motherfucking ass off the panel too. Because little Scrappy, he be putting his motherfucking foot in his mouth when it comes to gay folks and trans folks too. So Mama D, you are going to need to shut your mouth too, because when somebody says something about the prince, you're going to have an attitude too, which puts you in a bad. Just leave that alone. Just it ain't necessary. You just don't even need to be in that discussion. You don't need to be in that discussion. Just fuck it. You know? Fuck it. I don't even see no other way about it because them are y'all's babies. And you go and protect your baby. But don't feel bad and don't feel like, nobody can cuss y'all the fuck out because y'all are the mothers. They'll cuss you the fuck out too. And keep it moving. We ain't gonna keep it and keep it cute with them. Fuck Scrappy and fuck Walker. Fuck them. Fuck them both. It is what it is. They don't like us. We don't fucking like them. Fuck them. And you can't get mad for us saying that. It is what it is. So, like I said, all over the place. Anyway, so going back to this whole thing. So after they had that little conversation there, Deb actually did meet with D. Smith. And immediately I was trying to figure out whose motherfucking hair was worse. I took 10 minutes on that. But then they went back and forth. And like I said, I kind of felt them both. Because again, Deb got in her feelings immediately when Walker's name came up. And I understood it. But at that meeting, Deb and D. Smith parted ways and agreed basically to disagree. Now I'm gonna tell you that motherfucking D. Smith met later on with Arian and Mimi. And that was the first time she met Mimi. They got to talk about the situation. And the whole thing came up of maybe you should go, maybe y'all should try to clear everything up and all of that. Maybe y'all should clear everything up. And they talked to her about going to Deb's event. But D. Smith already went with malice in her heart and the intent to be a bitch. So she was wrong with that. I don't think she should have even went to the event because I'll be prepared to go to war. You shouldn't even went there with that in your heart. You just shouldn't have went. And the whole thing with Betty Idol, let me just say this. Bitch, after all that talking you did on the first 2 episodes, all that going on and on and on, bitch, you wouldn't be sitting there with extensions in your hair, would you, bitch? After all that reading that you did about, this is my real hair and this, that, and the other, you wouldn't be sitting over there with extensions in, would you, bitch? She's a walking, talking, stupid cotton ball contradiction. I don't like that Betty Idol. She's ridiculous. Okay, and the last thing about that little meeting, D. Smith, you played the clown in that scene. Just so you know, if you didn't think you did, bitch, you played the motherfucking clown. She did this whole little thing where she was talking about Miss Deb, and then she gonna imitate Deb's voice, because you know Deb's voice is husky, but she gonna go in and use her motherfucking baritone, and it was a kiki. Everybody's kikiing. You thought you broke that up. You thought that whole scene was a read on Deb, right? You thought you got Deb. Bitch, you didn't get Deb. You didn't get Deb, bitch. We've been 9 million seasons through. We know that Deb has a husky voice. It's not funny anymore. We know Deb has a husky voice. It is what it is. But Deb is a woman. See, there's where all the issue is the fact that you're not an actual natural woman, that you are a trans woman. And when you drug all that motherfucking man up out of your motherfucking throat, you thought you were reading Deb, bitch, but you weren't. You read your motherfucking self, bitch. You read yourself. And don't ever think that Arian and Mimi were laughing with you, bitch. They weren't laughing with you. They were laughing at you, just like the rest of America was. Laughing at you. You're breaking your neck trying to prove to someone that you're a woman, yet you voluntarily stood there and pulled 10 million pieces of man up out of your throat. Clown. You are a horrible representation of the motherfucking trans community. Just horrible. Ugh. 2 steps forwards and 12 steps backwards. Dumb bitch. Anyway, moving the fuck on. Y'all wonder why people are having a hard time respecting the trans community. Shit like that. Dumb shit. You gonna be a woman? Be a woman, bitch. Stupid. Anyway, done with her. Done with the bitch. Meanwhile, Mimi goes to see Stevie J. The two of them get back, going back and forth. Dummy did agree to let Stevie stay with her. So let's just say that. But we knew she was going to do that because we know dumbass Mimi. Child, this is what I want to know. Mimi, why are you so upset with Stevie J? You're upset with Stevie J because he lied to you. He didn't tell you everything about why him and Jocelyn were really falling out and more about that motherfucking two babies. You are pissed off about him and these two babies, and I need to know why. He not your motherfucking man. He not your man, not your husband, not any of those things. Why do you care? Why do you care? You're fresh out of how many dicks? We don't know how many dicks you've had since Stevie J. We don't know how many pussies you done ate or how many times your pussy been ate since Stevie J. Yet, you still fussing. And quiet as kept. Stevie J doesn't owe you an explanation about a motherfucking thing that he did, bitch, because he's not your man. Now get on, bitch. Moving on. So, like I said, the very last thing that we actually had in this episode was the situation with Miss Deb's little event, and it just kind of blew up, and it just went completely left. It went completely left. Um, when they got to that trans situation, because they did basically. Tammy went, it just became a shout match between D. Smith and Tammy. It was a whole personal thing with the two of them, and like I said, Deb got in her feelings, Tammy got in her feelings, and then somebody in the audience actually did feel as though, because it looked like it was really more of the trans community and the gay community that were actually the ones that actually came to support the event. And when the whole thing with Walker, they got to feeling some kind of way at the way that the stance that Deb and Tammy were taking, and the whole thing turned around. And they really did give very much of, no, y'all not just going to attack her. And that is what was happening. That is what was happening. Miss Deb and Tammy were really giving her, bitch, we want you to shut up, honey. And they were ganging up on her a little bit. And the gays wasn't getting ready to have it. So they kind of ended. It just really, the whole thing just went left. It went left. I just think for future, definitely, Deb, do what you're doing. It's a good thing. It's a good cause and all that. But just keep your mouth off of the transgender stuff and keep it out of the LGBTQ stuff. Just don't, if it comes up, cool. But you're not in the position to do that. You're not. Because again, if the question of your son comes up, you all in your feelings, and it leaves you with a real bad look. And every event that you do is going to blow up just like that one. I promise you. I promise you it is. It is what it is. But all right. So I'm sure we're going to talk about this down in them damn comments. But like I said, this episode it was all over the place. It was all over the place. It really was. I was like, no, you wrong. No, now you wrong. No, I couldn't take anybody's side. They were all over the place. Everybody was kind of wrong in each other. And this one, it was interesting. All right, y'all. So that's it. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Y'all know how all that shit works. And I will talk to you guys next week. All right. Bye, guys.